Welcome to the quick start video on the Newport battery quick disconnect. This is something that's super valuable with the purchase of every battery. Any Newport motor with open terminal leads coming from the motor, this gives you a really seamless way to disconnect the power source from the motor, move the battery to a charging location and plug it in without having to take the whole motor, assembly and battery, or use tools to disconnect your power source from the motor. So the quick disconnect plug kit comes with two halves. It also comes with all the tools you'll need for assembly and setup. But this half with the open ring terminals on it has 8-gauge positive and negative wires coming from this crush-proof Anderson plug. This is the end that's going to go to the terminals on your battery. The other half of the Newport battery quick disconnect assembly consists of this hub that connects to the open leads coming from your Newport motor. You'll simply remove this cap using these two screws on either side, connect the open leads from your battery to this connection port, and then you'll have a seamless plug, crush-proof Anderson plug, coming from your motor that can simply connect right to the battery source. Let's walk through real quick how to set this up. The first step in setting up your battery quick disconnect plug is exposing the bolts at the battery terminals, and the kit comes with the tools needed to get this done, but I'm using my own tools in this circumstance. So I'm simply going to remove these and leave the washer assemblies stacked on the bolt. I'm going to go directly to the terminal on the battery, the positive side first. I'm just going to hand tighten it. I'm going to go directly to the terminal on the battery with the negative side now. And then I'm going to tighten both sides down. And I want it really tight and snug on this part of the assembly because I want the best metal contact possible. I'm just going to replace these little caps. And the next step in the setup is to connect this end to the motor. So you'll just remove these screws on either side of the plastic housing here. Just to expose the terminals on this hub. Now, when you connect the open leads from your battery to this, you want to leave that bottom washer intact because you need metal contact. The ring with the Anderson plug on it on top of that metal washer, and then you'll put the ring terminal coming from the motor over that, your second washer, and then the nut. So you'll have two halves, one 8-gauge wire coming from the motor into this side, and then the second wire or cable coming from that side. As you tighten this down with a tool, you want to make sure that the cables stay in a straight line. So you'll have two sets of parallel wires, red and black coming from this side, red and black exiting this side. Put the cap back on just to clean things up. Give it a couple turns finger tight, and then use the included Allen key to tighten it all the way down. One critical tip here is to not thread too tight. It just needs to be barely snug. There's enough bite in the plastic and enough softness in the plastic to keep that screw engaged and keep it from coming unthreaded. But if you over tighten it, you risk stripping the threads that are cut into the plastic. So just go easy on this part, and snug is just perfect. So that'll protect the whole assembly there with your cables coming in from the motor side and then these exiting to the plug side. Now when you're ready to join your motor to the power source, simply join these 2 crush-proof Anderson plugs and you're up and running. At the end of the day, simply disconnect that very quickly, move the battery to the charging source, and you can charge it up, and at full charge, bring it back to the motor. Although it's a simple product, this battery quick disconnect kit is one of my favorites from Newport. It really helps me quickly disconnect the battery from the motor, get it on charge, and plug it back into the motor with ease. I hope you found this video useful, and we'll see you on the water. The way forward is electric.